convoy is ready to go to the supermarket.
Yeah. But it's going to be the gnarliest road to go, like gnarliest, most beautiful road to get to a supermarket.
Yeah, we are on the way to Montenegro and we did like a few detours. We wanted to check out another beautiful lake that is just behind us. This area is absolutely stunning. Bosnia is blowing us away, actually. It's mind-blowing and beautiful. And you could hear probably behind us this amazing 450 ex-ambulance.
It's so cool. Yeah, so this has got a big V8 power stroke in it. It's an awesome truck. Oakley loves it.
It's like he wants to ride an ambulance.
So this is Emergency Getaway on Instagram. They're a really cool couple. So we're gonna do a little convoy to a supermarket.
Yeah. Wow, look at the ambulance. So we actually met Crystal and Alex on our first night in Croatia by total surprise in a random little white spot where we were, and kept in touch since then. We knew they were here and I was on our way, so we're like, let's have a little lunch together. They made us a beautiful little picnic lunch platter.
Oh, and really better coffees than we make, it's for sure.
A great coffee. They've got a really nice coffee machine. We've got no food left, so this spot we would have loved to camp here. Like, this is definitely worth staying here a few nights, but we need to get to the next town to get food. There's not many supermarkets around here, and you'll see it's a pretty random road we're gonna drive on to get there.
Yeah, can't wait.
The truck that keeps on giving. We had no idea it would be this scenic. I mean, the lake surroundings were beautiful, but as soon as we started headed off, we were surrounded by peaks on four sides. There was thick snow, just incredible.
It's like proper mountain peaks out there. I did not know Bosnia had mountains like this. Wow. Yeah, this is awesome.
I'm like speechless.
It's fun to be in a convoy as well.
These views. Oh my. So this is actually part of the TET, which is the Trans-European Trail, that it's mostly designed for motorbike, but some sections can be done by car apparently, which is really cool. And we are right now very close, I believe, to the Sjeska National Park, and I understand why this is National Park, because this is probably one of the most beautiful area we've actually seen in Europe.
It's epic. We've been kind of keeping our eye on the TET from sort of Slovenia, Croatia onwards. Some of the Croatian part of the TET is a no-go for 4x4s, it's too narrow, or there'll be trees down and whatnot. So we haven't done much of the TET yet, but basically just it travels, I don't know exactly the distance, but it goes right the way through Europe, so it's nice to be able to do some of it. A lot of it would take too long for us to travel through, but yeah, nice to be able to pick it up every once in a while.
Wow. We're gonna be stuck for a while.
How are you?
Hello. The overlanding life, slow travel in Bosnia.
Yay!
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna be stuck here for about 15 minutes. It says probably 15 minutes Bosnia time, so who knows how long we're actually gonna be here for.
We're stuck, are we?
You can probably stop the truck. Ooh, yeah, you're good, you're good, you're good. Nice work. Oh, too easy.
Stops. Wow. Okay, so that's difficult, very difficult for me. Okay, yeah, you were right. Okay, so I didn't remember seeing a spot that we could turn around, did you? Jump on in.
Nice work. That was impressive.
Thank you for helping.
Gosh.
Sorry about that, I did not anticipate...
Just when I saw on Google Map that section where there was that big rock thing.
Silly, they should just shut this.
It's crazy.
So how do people drive there and turn around?
Well, I won't say that was much fun, but anyway, we are in a beautiful Sjeska National Park, still in Bosnia. We left our good friends Alex and Crystal sadly this morning. We had an amazing camp with them last night, nice fire, was really peaceful, and we were on our way to Montenegro, and I was like, actually Chris, I've got a track that I've bookmarked, we should check it out because the views are meant to be exceptional.
Look at this.
I mean, amazing. Behind us is called Maglik. This is the highest peak in Bosnia, around 2,400 meters.
Oh,
And yeah, we saw a little trail continuing down below, and we're like, oh, let's just see where it goes. And that was a dead end. It's actually became
nowhere to turn around.
It became a hiking trail basically. So yeah, we reversed a 2.5 kilometer.
Right on pretty steep drop off, but it was okay.
Chris is such a good driver.
Luckily it was relatively flat, so it wasn't too stressful at all. Bit of help from you helped, and then found a place to turn around eventually.
Luckily we both had lunch and coffee beforehand, so we felt pretty good.
That's the key.
So now we're looking, can we actually drive?
I don't know if you can see on the GoPro, but it looks like there's a fire lookout tower.
It looks like we can drive, yeah.
Track going there. So we'll drive that now. It was meant to be beautiful sunshine today and tomorrow, so I mean this just rolled in. It's cold now up here. Hopefully tomorrow will be a bit clearer.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's actually snow like in these peaks. And yeah, there was that bad week we had in Croatia, like the entire country here in Bosnia got a bad storm, some proper snow. And the drive to come here, there was actually so many fallen trees on the side of the track. And it looks like it got pretty bad. That would have been really strong wind.
Must have been last week's.
Some of
the week before's wind warning, yeah.
Yeah, some of the trees were like massive, so.
All right, let's drive it.
Big steps.
Up the fire tower.
Yay.
Are you a firefighter, Oak?
Yeah.
Yes. That's pretty cool. Whoa.
Use your hands.
Whoa. This is a good way to escape from any bears.
Here's the data.
Hi.
Hi.
Whoa. Hey, this is cool.
This is really cool.
Hi, buddy. This is a bit like North America. They have
Yeah.
fire watch towers.
360-degree view.
And I guess these are lightning rods. Lightning rods. Oh man.
The view.
Gosh, there's some sun peeking in over there.
April, May, June. The pool.
July.
Pool.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. A little Eskimo. Good morning, guys. What an insanely beautiful spot to wake up to. We had the best toilet view ever this morning. Really good night of sleep. So silent, it was unbelievable. I was kind of praying when we went to bed that it didn't get windy because we're so exposed here, but it didn't. There wasn't a breath of wind. The sun has just come over this peak. So this mountain is called Maglik, and it is the tallest in Bosnia. And if you climb it, you're pretty much right on the border with Montenegro, which is cool. Now we are going to a lake, which is somewhere over here this morning. And that is technically in Montenegro. So the cool,
Brought our passport.
yeah, the cool thing is we've been advised to bring our passports just in case there's like a ranger or a cop. I don't know many places in the world where you can do that. All right, Oaks is going to go in the backpack and we're going to start our hike.
Here we go. Wow,
Gosh,
what a view.
I had no idea Bosnia had terrain like this.
Yeah, I think for me that looks like what I would expect more like in the Dolomites in Italy. And I guess potentially they all look a bit like similar peaks because it's the range of the Dinaric Alps that stretches all the way actually from northern Italy and goes through all the countries along like Slovenia, Croatia, all the way to Albania, which actually has the highest peak of this range, which is I think like 2,600 meters. So yeah, we're not gonna do a really steep climb today, although there is a little bit of elevation to come back from the lake. Obviously it's much harder with Oakley. We're trying to stick to hikes that are maybe 10-kilometer max, just so that everybody has a good time. We're not, you know, pushing ourselves too hard. Good weather helps, so yeah, hopefully today the hike with Oaks goes well.
Look at the cloud inversion.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
This is mega. I really like the look of mountains like this that have all this like granite. It's so nice. So we need to be, look, I'm not gonna lie, we're not prepared for bears. I didn't realize, I kind of considered European bears stupidly a bit like American black bears, where you know they're not really dangerous, but you wouldn't really, you know, approach them or try and pat one. But no, they're more dangerous than that. So we're not really prepared with pepper spray, or bear spray rather. We have in our possession a whistle, a duck whistle. That a lovely, was she Croatian?
I think it was in Germany.
I was in Germany. A lovely ancient German lady came up and gave Oakley this little duck whistle. I've got that to make some sound. I've got these to wave and stab and prod if I need to. And I have a giant knife in our backpack, which hopefully it would never come to that, but I'll tell you what, if something goes south and a bear approaches and it won't leave, I'm gonna offload Oaks to Ange. Ange will make as much noise as possible while slowly backing up, and I'll get the knife out and we'll see how things go. Honestly, we're not going to go down without a fight.
I'll say, like, if Oakley has a major tantrum, that'll probably scare the bear away.
Probably. Bear's like, you know what, I want nothing to do with it. No, I'm sure it'll be fine, but we need to be careful.
Good vibes only today, Oaks. Good vibes only. Yeah. So, yesterday when we drove Scotty, we came here, and all the way we're like, oh, this is great, we can go closer. And as you can see here, it becomes really quickly a hiking trail.
I mean, definitely we could have maybe turned around there, but I didn't feel comfortable doing it, especially not with Oakley in the car. So reversing was, I think, by far the safer option. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Happy moon?
We don't do a lot of hikes, but when we do, I think we choose some absolute bangers. This is so cool. Wow.
Wow. We have made it. So I'm probably gonna butcher the name. Trnovachko Lake. Stunning. So we are now on the Montenegro side. We actually along the hike saw the sign saying basically welcome to Montenegro. So we crossed the border, but there is absolutely no one around. We've got the entire place to ourselves. It looks like someone might live there usually, but yeah, it's the end of the season. They closed everything down and here we are.
They must take like horses or mule tracks here. There's a few corrals where they can keep them and lots of like farrier kind of stuff. But there's also these peculiar little animal houses.
Oh.
And there's like 5 or 6 of them just dotted around the place. And it's almost like maybe they command a little army of rabbits around.
That would be
I
cute.
don't understand.
Wow.
But there's so much random
Stuff, yeah.
junk and stuff for Oakley to look at. It's great. It's going to be hard to leave this place with these things.
He's taking
Hey,
you.
buddy, you want to go find more treasure?
I'll put it on your spin.
I'll take the banana.
That's very much a dad thing to do.
Let's go! Good boy, down the hill. Alrighty, so we'll finish the day off there, guys. That was such an awesome day. We had a lot of fun. We've seen quite a lot of like furry scat, and we did a little Google search and it's wolves. So yeah, there are quite a lot of wolves in this area, just judging by the amount of scat that we saw. We also saw 2 snakes today on our hike above the snow line, which is bizarre to think of a cold-blooded animal being above the snow line. One of them was a European adder or viper, and the other was green. I'll have to look up what that one was. It was almost like a little grass or racer snake. And yeah, it moved quickly, got right away. All right, so beer and corn chips. The team are inside with the diesel heater on. The temperature is dropping rapidly.
Since we've arrived in Bosnia and Montenegro, we've had some really cold nights. We usually camp at around 1,500 meters elevation, sometimes even higher, and it's not even winter yet and it's been cold at nighttime. We don't use our diesel heater overnight. We just like to sleep with our big warm doona. And at the moment we've added on top our Nakie Puffy blankets. So we've got two and we really like them. They're lightweight and they keep us really nice and warm at nighttime. We were using them as well last winter in Spain and they've been very good. We actually use quite a lot of Nakie products almost on a daily basis. We've got the scent-free towels that we absolutely love. They're quick dry, they're really absorbent, they store really compact so they take no room in our truck. They've got a nice little pouch and they don't smell. We've got as well the really big picnic blanket, which is really heavy duty. We put it outside on a nice sunny day so we can have lunch, because we don't really use actually our camping chair. So for us, it's perfect. Oakley as well can put all his toys on it. Nakie has a lot of other products like the Hammock, which is really nice and comfortable. So with Christmas approaching, I highly recommend you check out Nakie's website. They make all their product out of recycled plastic bottles, and for every purchase they plant 4 trees. We've got a discount code for you, which is OUTFIT, for 10% off your next purchase if you're interested in a Nakie product. And we have finally made it to Montenegro. We've been actually saying that for quite a few days, and every time we found like another beautiful spot in Bosnia. So yeah, we have finally crossed, left our beautiful Magalik mountain in Bosnia. We were desperate for a shower, found a camp by a beautiful river, but all the campsites at the time of the year, they're actually shut. So that was quite a struggle to find a campsite that was open, but we eventually found one. And then we had to get to an Airbnb once we crossed to Montenegro, because there actually no washing machine, no laundromat, nowhere in this part as well of the country. So yeah, we made the most of it for one night, did 3 loads of washing, and now we're back on the road, back exploring the famous Dermito National Park, which I heard good and bad things about it. It's meant to be beautiful, but as well it became a bit more touristy, so the road actually to come here is now becoming asphalt, which is fine, but yeah, it's definitely removing a bit more the adventure sense when you come to places like this. So yeah, very easy crossing to Montenegro. There's actually not much going on between those crossings, even though they are not part of the EU. You just give your passport, get a stamp. They usually check your papers for the vehicle just to make sure they're under your name, and that's about it. So far we have had no issues at all, which is good. But yeah, love Bosnia. I highly recommend you actually check out Bosnia. It exceeded my expectations. Definitely go back there for sure.
Well, this is unusual. We are broken down in the middle of nowhere. At least the scenery is beautiful and we've managed to get off the side of the road. So very strange thing has happened. Hopefully you'll be able to see under here. Obviously it's going to be dark, but yeah, our diff's not meant to look like that. So the entire rear axle assembly has rotated way back and touched our fuel tank, jammed up the far rear drive shaft. So I have disconnected both shock absorbers. I've removed the rear drive shaft. I've got this very precarious, suspect looking jack stand going on to lift the body up away from the axle, because there's parts of the axle that want to pierce the fuel tank. Now this is going to enable me to, hopefully, I'm just about to try it, jack up each corner of the axle, each side of the axle. I've got one more jack stand I can use. I'll remove the tires, and then I'll try and use a ratchet strap to pivot the diff back into place. So I think what's happened is this reaction rod, the bolt has come out or it's snapped, and that has enabled this to happen. There's still the bottom ones, so the axle could never completely disappear on us. But yeah, I had no idea it could do that. We just felt some really horrible noise after a few switchbacks. It's been quite steep. And yeah, that was what it was. So I'm so glad I stopped, because we almost lost our rear brake line. That seems to have salvaged that. I might actually be able to fix this. The hard part's going to be pivoting it back, but we'll see. It might be much easier once the weight of the truck is off the axle. And the worst part about this is we're on a slope, so all of the weight of the truck is towards that back axle, which is kind of like the worst for us. So if I can't get this to work, I'm going to have to limp the truck up the hill and back down again and park so the weight is on the front towards the motor. So wish me luck. I'm not going to film this whole thing because I'm pretty not stoked about it, as you could imagine. So I'm just going to try and get the job done, and then I can kind of show you what worked, in case you have a Volvo and this happens to you. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't fix it, which, yeah, it's pretty gutting. I hate going to sleep on a problem, but yeah, so I snapped both my ratchet straps, just absolutely cranking on them to try and get that axle back into place. And then when I was jacking up one other part, the back kind of started to fall, and it actually scared the daylights out of me. So yeah, not worth trying anymore, so put the wheels back on. And just found that there's a mechanic in a small town 15 kilometers away. So hopefully we can get there. One of the issues is I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, guys, I'm sorry, but the axle is touching the shock absorber, like right here. Same on the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but the spring mount is touching. It's like scraping down here. I've kind of tied it up the best I can. That axle really wants to roll back. So what I really need is a floor jack to lift all of the weight off of these rear springs. So lift from the back all the way up with a big floor jack, so heaps of travel. So a farm jack could have potentially done it today. But I never like to carry around a farm jack because they're really dangerous, they're really heavy, and it's very rare that you need to use them. But on this occasion, maybe that could have helped me a lot. So I'll keep that in mind for the future. I also need a bolt to replace the one in the bushing. So hopefully the mechanic will have a big, I don't know what it is, like an M16 bolt or something like that, a really thick, big boy one, which I am assuming has snapped because I regularly check all of these reaction arms and make sure they're all tight, and they never have budged. So I find it really unlikely that it came loose. I think it snapped doing all of these switchbacks. So yeah, I need a floor jack, and then I need two really heavy duty ratchet straps, you know, the big ones that truckers use and stuff. That would give me enough leverage and pulling power to get this axle back into place, because this is a job I've done before. Good boy. It's a job I've done before in Sweden when I replaced all the bushings on their action arms, but I had all of the weight off of the truck on a floor jack, so that's kind of what I need, a bottle jack, and on rocks is not cutting in and it's not safe enough. So fingers crossed for us. We only travelled about, Ange found a spot like 1.3k up the road, and it's beautiful actually. It's a really nice quiet spot. The road is just here on this ridge line, so we've had actually a lot of tourists coming past from like Bosnia and Croatia and stuff. So it is a Sunday today, thank goodness, because it means Monday tomorrow the mechanic should be open. So I don't even really need him to help me. I really only need to borrow his tools, so I'll see if he's okay with that. Hand him some cash, see if I can borrow a floor jack. We'll leave it there today. Yeah, not our finest day, but this happens. We're safe, so that's good. Looks like an old Russian truck.
Was it Tam?
Oh, was it? It's an old Yugoslavian. I knew it was an easy fix.
Easy fix with the right tools.
Exactly. Easy fix with the right tools. Isn't that always the way? Good morning. All right, so fixed the truck yesterday, so we're back on the trails today. We just kind of camped near town last night. I wasn't in the mood to do too much driving just in case something kind of went wrong with the fix. Oh, frustrating, because that first fix I tried to do on the trail the day before, I was so close. I just couldn't get quite enough height with the bottle jack, and jacking off rocks is super dodgy, and once it started breaking, yeah, it scared me. So I'm glad we limped it into town. So there were 3 mechanics in total. The first one kind of got under the truck. He wouldn't listen to me at all about what I was saying about jacking the body up. And he tried to do a few things but couldn't, and then he kind of just disappeared. So that was where I kind of took things into my own hands, grabbed a few big tree stumps, and I started trying to use our bottle jack. And then 2 mechanics who were working on a truck, I had no idea they were mechanics, because they just looked like everyone else kind of thing. They're not in overalls or a uniform or anything. Not a word of English was spoken. They, I think mostly spoke Serbian, so I tried translating a little bit on Google Translate, but it didn't work great. They kind of had their own idea of how to fix it, which unfortunately I knew wouldn't work, but I kept kind of hammering home what needed to be done, and a guy lent me a really big like truck bottle jack, which had much higher stroke than our current one. He gave me a couple more tree stump rounds and jacked it up. He found 2 perfectly sized bolts, even though I only need 1. He gave me a spare. I jacked the body up, so basically needed to take all the weight off the springs, and then I used my bottle jack just slightly on the rear axle to kind of put some pressure on the axle to rotate, and then I used a hammer, smacked the axle back into place, and then another bloke jumped underneath and put the bolt through. And all the while he was calling one of his friends. She was lovely. He would put me on to her. He would just kind of grunt to hand me the phone, and she spoke amazingly good English, and she was kind of trying to translate for me, but it was tricky, but it was super sweet at the same time. But we got it all sorted. It would have only taken really 20 minutes to do that job, and then I spent another 15-20 minutes putting everything back together, like the drive shaft and stuff like that. We've just found a really nice trail here. Ange and Oak are just going for a little wander before we put Oakley to sleep. We won't be on this trail too long. It's grey skies. Yeah, we'll just kind of continue through. The weather may not be playing ball now for a while. So to add insult to injury, yesterday when I was trying to limp it from the really cold night we had, it must have been, I think it must have been about -10 degrees. We were at about 1700 meters in elevation. The inside temperature on our electrical system, on our Cymarine, connected to the inner drive, that was reading -2.6 degrees inside the truck. So we knew it was so cold. The entire tent was frozen solid. There were all these like crystals on the inside of our canvas. It was just a perfectly clear night, zero wind, and we woke up to it was just like a winter wonderland everywhere. I saw some deer bouncing past in the morning. It was a cool spot. But what I didn't realize is just how cold it was, because at about -10 degrees, diesel starts to gel. So we started trying to drive. We couldn't wait really for it to warm up because the sun was taking a while and we kind of needed to limp it into town to get to the mechanics, right? And the truck kind of died about 2 or 3 times on the side of the road, on the side of the track, going up like these switchbacks. It was not fun. And yeah, our diesel was starting to gel. So I think it had largely frozen underneath in our little pre-filter. So I swapped that over, and then it died again, and it turned out our diesel fuel filter, our main one, had all kind of gel. It's like this white gooey substance. So we put it in front of the diesel heater. I drained that all out, put some diesel into it from our jerry can, which wasn't frozen, and then I just let the truck run and rev for a while, and we seemed to be okay, and we got out of there. We have now learnt that the diesel we filled up the truck with had not been winterized at all. You've got to spend a bit more money, I think 10 cents more per litre, and get a winterized diesel, which didn't say anywhere that it's winterized. It just kind of said kind of like premium diesel, which I usually scoff at. And so now we hopefully won't have that problem again. Oh, Oakley's throwing a tantrum. Okay, I'll stop chatting and we'll see you guys when we see you.